Okay, so can you with this defense? Because I can't with this defense. By the way, we're trying to give this a shot. I think the internet connection is going to hold up because it's been doing well for most of the night. But hotels and whatnot. And the last time I did this, I was in Portland, Oregon, which is the Pacific Northwest. And tonight I'm doing this, and I'm in Miami, Florida, which is the southeast. So I am supremely jet lagged. And yet, I managed to make it, watch the game, was excited for the game. I told everybody at the book events that I was going to be at the game. Got to meet Ibtihaj Muhammad, who, if you don't know who that is, you really should look her up. She's very cool. Got to meet Ron Stallworth, who is the author of Black Klansman, the movie that Spike Lee adapted. You can see where I'm going with my thought process. I got Justice Sotomayor to sign my book, which was awesome. And we're counting the good things. Lots of good things. Got to talk to my girlfriend at length. Hadn't really been able to talk to her all week because this week's kind of sucked because of the way that my travel schedule has been, and her birthday is tomorrow. Shout out to Laurel. Love you. Birthday tomorrow. Wish her happy birthday. She gets into the chat. And we're also doing the live stream in part because she really digs them. I know that all of y'all here also dig them, and that's a thing. Man, I haven't even done the intro. So let me do the intro, and then we'll do the roll call. And I'm going to have to do it from the laptop, which is over here, because we are on the phone. We are OG RJ in it tonight. So, what's up, kidfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. So, if it's OU related, college football related, sports related, we have a good time. We're going to recap OU Kansas and all of the poop show that it was. 10 wins and all. But first, let us get to, oh man, I even got the wrong tab open over here, dog. My God, how do you give up 260 yards rushing to one man? He averaged like 17 yards per carry. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. So, we're doing the roll call. So if you ain't here, I'm going to shout you out. RJ middle-aged. This dude just keeps doing the most with this. Matthew Bingham was good. Cody Hudson was good. Daniel Lutstrom, I see you. Charles Serber in the house. Steven Gordon, what's good, fam? Who else is in here? Daniel Lutstrom, what's up, man? Let's see, what else we got? Travis Pinner's in the house. Patrick Anderson, what's good? CD Tollison, what's good? Let's see. Den 5 Angels, Daniel Voss. Jay Killer BT USC, fam. William Zabala, Matthew Bingham, Ty Tulit. Silent Assassin, okay. Chihuahua Mama, what's good? Lloyd Grissom, excuse me, what's good? Shane Brasher's in the house. Laramie Raymond. Clay McNutt, there's a name. Shane Brasher. Chris Sullivan. Matthew Ainsworth. Jimmy James. Jeff Ramsey. Gary Arnold. Doomlerius. Choppa Cow. Jake from the Sooner State. Jackson, yeah, I see you, fam. Greg Tate's in the house. Keegan Daniels, what's good? Coach Parnell, what's good? Boomer Sooners in here. David Ransom, I see you. Terrence, what's good? Ryan Eli's in here. Clint Johnson. Bill Beach. Dakota Green. Thunder Colts fan. What are you doing here? Crazy Goose, what's good? See, Brandon Perry's in the house. Stephen Morgan. David Holmes. Michael Harris. Wendell Olden. Crazy, what's good? Bob Jeepers. Doomlerius. Quasar, rough day for you, man. Adam Tom. Let's see. Bright Red Elephant. Brendan Ludlow. Gary Arnold. Brandon Rader. Let's see. Ethan, what's good? 405, I see you. Cameron Turner's in here. Jeff Ramsey. Jay Spears. My gun. Oh, yeah. Bill Beach with the super chat. Appreciate that, fam. Tommy Engel. Bill, let me know what you want to talk about. Raji. Rachel, what's good? Brianna, I see you. Sooner Bear, what's good? Michael Hurt's in here. GD, I see you. Clinton's in here. David Hicks. Adam Henderson. Mama! Mama's awake. Wow. Mama's usually asleep. Bradley Carricker, what's good? Renegade. Derek Tiger. Devin Gilmore. Kaylin McCarthy. Daniel Bailey. Clinton Gaming. IB Phenom. Sean Robertson. Jace Thornton, what's good? Jamal Smith, I see you. Daniel Bailey's in here. All right. So, thank you, Kyler Murray, for playing one season of football for my team and not theirs. Because we have Kyler Murray and you don't. And if not for Kyler Murray, I gotta say, this game looks a whole lot different. This is a game where you expected Oklahoma to win handily. The spread is 36 points. Means that Kansas should not be in this football game. But the last time the spread was this large, it's a little team called Army. And Army is 9-2. Army should be a top 25 program. Speaking of top 25 programs, and I'm gonna go on this tangent because I'm trying to get as far away from this Kansas game as we can. But I'm gonna go on this tangent and say Citadel put up 17 on Alabama. This is the same Alabama for which Mississippi State could not score, LSU could not score, Ole Miss couldn't score more than 7, Arkansas State couldn't score more than 7, Louisville couldn't score more than 14. I mean, it ain't like the other teams didn't have an opportunity to do what Citadel did, and Citadel went into halftime tie ball game. So for that alone, I say LSU and Mississippi State should drop completely out of the rankings altogether. The SEC, garbage. They play each other. They beat up on each other, and the committee has decided that it is a superior conference because Alabama is a good football team. And yet, and still, an FCS team, and not just an FCS team, but a bad FCS team, a 4-6 FCS team, put up 17 on the vaunted Alabama Crimson Tide. That's number one. Number two today, Ohio State should have lost to Maryland. Should have lost. I mean, yes, it goes in overtime, and we're all kind of, oh my goodness. But it felt like dude was wide open. Maryland quarterback just missed him. I mean, so Ohio State dodges another bullet. And if you're going to talk about Oklahoma's defense, you got to talk about Ohio State's defense, especially if Ohio State beats Michigan next week, which is a possibility. It's not out of the question because Michigan just ain't very good on offense, even if they are juggernauts on defense. And then Oklahoma State, West Virginia. West Virginia goes up to Stillwater. You expect West Virginia to win that game by 5-6 points, right? Because both teams can score. And then Oklahoma State decided, nah, we want to play in this game. And what does Taylor Cornelius do but run with the football? And this is a dude that doesn't even pretend he's going to slide, which is another thing that I actually kind of like about his game, is he plays the game like he's not going to play anymore, and it's kind of true. Like, he'll get an opportunity to play at the next level, but nothing like to say what Will Greer's going to get an opportunity to do at the next level. And I love this, not necessarily because West Virginia lost, but because it shuts Mountaineer fans up. We've had to hear all year long how West Virginia is going to win the Big 12 this year. And it's still a possibility. That's still on the table. But you know what's not on the table? Them making the college football playoff, which is the whole reason you want to win the conference. So as the only team to ever make the college football playoff out of this conference, I have to say, stuff it, West Virginia fans. Get out of here. Sign us, the only team who has represented this league in the college football playoff. Now, I see we got super chat from Cody Hudson, and he says, RJ, love the vids. Is team chemistry an issue in your opinion, or is it an offensive unit that has the defense's back? Well, brother, I think a lot of folks would say that is the offense having the defense's back, and I don't see a chemistry problem there. I just see a scheme and talent problem. All of it. I mean, you can start over if you want to, but I've also decided to make a bunch of videos from a defensive back coach's point of view, where I'm going to try to just plain educate folks on what it means to play defensive back, what it means to play defensive back against the spread, and what Oklahoma is trying to do scheme-wise and what other teams are trying to do scheme-wise, and try to fill everybody in on the same information so that we're all working from the same place as I see it. And I think I got a pretty good, I'm going to use it, read on what this is, and I'll be able to draw it out in detail. It's just those videos take a lot longer to produce. So, what we got? Jake S says, yo, I love Bob, but he left us in a bad way with this defense. If he didn't find Lincoln Riley, we are back in the you-know-what days. I disagree. He didn't leave us in a bad way with this defense. And first of all, it's a 10-1 team with a bad defense. So that needs to be also put into perspective here, Jake. I understand where you're coming from, and I'll get to more of it. But you can't say that Bob left you in a bad way when you made the college football playoff last year, and you have an opportunity to make the college football playoff this year. The defense is horrible. You're still 10-1. That speaks volumes about where Bob Stoops left the program, and with Lincoln Riley as its head coach, who is the second youngest FBS coach working today at 35. So I disagree with that take, and I think it lacks the overall picture of what Oklahoma's record is since Bob Stoops left. And what it is what? Is it like 23-2? 22-2? Nah, man, that's just, I don't get with that opinion. Much love, but I don't get with that take. I think that take just misses the point and is reactionary to the Kansas game today, which you should be pissed about, but not to this degree. So what we got here? Thunder Colts fan. Lifelong Sooner fan, saw your channel 2 months ago. Hey, I appreciate that. Man, if you were here like 12 months ago, you would know that this is how we've been doing the videos. Like, folks like you donating with Super Chat to the channel, to Patreon. Folks like Bill, who has been steady, throwing loot at the channel. Robert Lane. Terry Beckham has been, man, she's been supporting on Patreon since jump. Folks like Coach B. All the folks who kick in to the channel are the reason that the production is good, and one of the reasons that I keep trying to, keep up my end. Don't miss the day with videos. I always do the live streams, even on days where I'm dog tired and I think they're trash, like Wednesday, so I appreciate you saying that. More folks to find the channel. The bigger the channel gets, the more production value we can put in the channel, the better it is for all of us to have these kinds of conversations where we are actually yelling out loud about how one man can rush for 261 yards on 16 carries. Oh my God. I don't know what is it that, okay, let's just look at his stats. Puka Williams. What'd you do, Puka? Oh my God, we got run by a guy named Puka. What's up, Robert? I see you, fam. Now, in point of fact, Puka Williams did have an offer from LSU. He chose to come to Kansas. I think he chose to come to Kansas because he wanted to play right away, and he knew he would be a star in this offense. It's still Kansas. So what did Puka do? Puka had all-purpose. Oh, my God. Puka had 270 yards all-purpose on 18 touches. My God. Come on, man. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? All right, so what we got? We got free race. Subscribers since Ohio State, flexing real quick. Hey, appreciate that, fam. Hey, Laurel made it through. Please, tell Laurel happy birthday. It is her birthday in an hour and a half Central Time and like half an hour in Miami time. By the way, she's a huge reason for, again, why we're doing the live stream because, well, I don't really feel great. Hey, Logan! Weapon X! Weapon X awake. What's up, Weapon X? I got you a gift. I don't know if your mom told you, but matter of fact, it's for you and your sister, right? This is Justice Sotomayor's children's book. And she signed it for you. This is for you. So you and Brave got that. RJ got this. And then, oh, whoops. Laurel, this is Ibtihaj Muhammad. She signed your book. She's got a big squirrely handwriting. Also, what I got? I got Black Klansman over here, Ron Stallworth, which he was cool. He signed my book. It's a real personal inscription, and I dug it. And then check it. I got John Grisham's book. And he signed it, which is also cool. So I got to do some cool stuff. I got to do a lot of cool stuff before OU Kansas. And I was really excited about OU Kansas because I thought that this would be another game for which the defense could get some flex on. Kind of like TCU and Kansas State. And just genuinely thought that, shit was going to get righted. Everything was going to be fine. it's going to be good. You know, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, two very good offenses, top 25 offenses with outstanding wide receivers, literally. And that ain't what happened. Let me see, what we got? Jamal with the $5 super chat. I appreciate you, fam. I was doing a lot of this. I was doing a lot of that throughout the game because I saw what you saw, which isn't that we didn't know that they were going to try to run the ball and hold it. They weren't going to trust Peyton Bender to throw the ball, run press coverage, which means to get in somebody's face like this, put your hands into their shoulder pads, get you a good punch, get you some of that chest plate, make it hard for people to get off the line, disrupt timing routes, and that way you can blitz 6. You can bring 5 every single down. You can bring 8 from time to time. You just have to stop the run and make Peyton Bender throw passes when he doesn't want to. And David Beatty knew this was the only way he had an opportunity to win and stay in the game, and you let him. You let this man run his game plan against you. You gave up 40. I made a joke on the radio on Thursday to which I said, I just hope that we can hold Kansas to under 40. And you know what we didn't do? We didn't hold them to under 40. No, I have no news on Trey Sermon, just like the rest of you. I'm sure Lincoln will have something to say about it. Probably not much at all until Monday, and then even then he'll be cagey with it. Just like he was cagey about TJ Pledger, who apparently was dressed to play, but nobody saw. And what happens if Kennedy Brooks go down? Well, we saw what would happen. You saw Jeremiah Hall get those carries. So I'm not as concerned about the running back situation as many people are, because I believe that running back is the most overrated position in all of football. See Le'Veon Bell, but also because this offensive line just needs somebody who can run behind it. That's it. And when you didn't have your running backs, you know what you had? You had Kyler Murray. And you got to see how good Kansas's defense has been. And people who watch Kansas, like I watch Kansas, know that Kansas's defense has always been decent, and this year was actually above average. It's pretty great. Joe Deneen, Mike Lee, Hassan Defense, those guys can absolutely play some football. And you almost wanted to see, like, yo, can we just have your defense for the rest of the season, into the postseason? Because we'd win a national championship. That's how little the gap needs to be closed. Because Kansas is not a world-class defense, but it's a good defense. And even against a good defense, Oklahoma still pretty good. See what we got. Ryan Bolton. Have you seen enough from Ruffin to know that Lincoln should go outside the program for the DC job? Yes, and I like Ruffin. I really like Ruffin. But it also seems like he's running Mike Stoops' plays and using his book. And I know that that was kind of what he was going to be hemmed into, because you can't go changing the scheme wholesale in the middle of the season. I get that. More man, and there are more blitzes in that scheme than what he or Mike were running. Otherwise, yeah, blow it up. Because you need to be running more man. You need to be running more blitzes, especially against teams that are going to try to run the ball and play keep away, right? Because what Kansas did is essentially what Georgia did. Hello, run the ball, play defense. That is how you stay in a game with Oklahoma. You hold on to the rock and you play decent defense. You make Oklahoma earn it as much as you can. Robert Lane says, thank you for Kyler. Yes. Where would we be without Kyler Murray this season is not really a question anybody wants to answer. But man, I don't think that Austin Kendall could do what Kyler Murray can do. Let me see. What else we got? Kellen Kamer. Appreciate that. $10 super chat. If you drop a super chat, leave a comment. If it's a question, I'll answer it. If it's a comment, I'll probably agree or not agree. Just depends on the comment. So I get everybody is on the whole fire the entire defensive staff thing. And at this point, I don't really have a great argument except to say recruiting. Because if you fire everybody before folks are signed, and the game gets dirty that way, you're going to lose a lot of commits, and you're going to lose a lot of relationships, and you're going to lose a lot of goodwill for future relationships that you'll be building, because folks aren't necessarily committing to the program, although there are many that are, and I have heard nothing from players that are going to decommit. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is it's just a matter of keeping your word and being on the level with every move that you make, because when you recruit a kid, you recruit his family. And when you recruit a kid and his family, you also recruit his program and his school and his coaches. And people have long memories about these things, myself included. So unless you can make a great case for why you need to wholesale get rid of your defensive staff, that's going to be a tough sell to your incoming class. And your incoming class at Oklahoma in particular is pretty outstanding. Like, this 2019 class is 2 or 3 commitments away from being one of these legendary signing classes that we talk about. That's how good they are. So if you were recruited by a Kerry Cooks, a Calvin Thibodeau, a Ruffin McNeil, a Tim Kish, you have feelings about that, right? You like that person. That's the person that recruited you. That's the person you want to play for. So if Lincoln fires those folks, yeah, you might lose some relationships, and those are things that you have to take into account as fans. No, it's not something you want to, but it is something that you have to think about, and you have to weigh it accordingly. Myself, I think Lincoln's just going to take it as it goes. Like, I think he's going to get a new defensive coordinator because, frankly, Ruffin McNeil didn't come on the staff to be the defensive coordinator. He came on the staff to be a defensive tackles coach and an assistant head coach to help Lincoln Riley do the things that he didn't have a lot of experience doing. I don't know that that's a job that he just wants to let go of right away. So let me see what we got. Connor Smith. Will Riley's legacy hinge on how he handles this DC situation? No! He carried Mike Stoops to a college football playoff. He's got 10 wins in November, and the next season, his second season as a... No. Lincoln Riley's legacy does not depend on his defensive coordinator hiring. Because the one thing you know about Lincoln Riley is, with a trash defense, he still puts together not just a 10-win team, but a team capable of winning the Big 12 title and making it back in the college football playoff. His legacy is dependent on quarterbacks and his offense. And he's been pretty outstanding at all of that throughout his career. And his legacy does not begin as a head coach at Oklahoma, because he was an offensive coordinator for 3 years at Oklahoma before he took the job. So, I mean, come on, y'all, keep it 100. You know, that's where we at right now. 2 years, you know? What else we got? Jason Bolden, longtime friend of the channel. Who are you thinking for defense coordinator next year? Pete Golding runs a 3-4 front, and I make a joke about that in the on-demand recap video that I think folks are going to like. But Alex Grinch at Ohio State is an all-namer. Number one, all the Grinch jokes that would be made. But, yo, man, I think Lincoln Riley's going to go, he's going to go in a different way, right? I really do. And low-key for me, I know that people want to go outside the program, and there's a good reason to do that, but look at what Shane Beamer's done for the special teams. Special teams was just as bad as the defense was last year. Special teams has made the leap this year. Think about that, okay? Think about that. You got CeeDee Lamb making plays. You had a block punt return for a touchdown today. Second of the year. You can depend on the special teams to do its job, right? That's since Shane Beamer joined the program. What if Shane Beamer was your defensive coordinator? We know Shane Beamer doesn't want to be here long. We know that he wants to be a head coach. What better chance to give that guy than to be the defensive coordinator at Oklahoma? Turn the defense around. He gets where he's going. We get the defense that we want. You know? Well, I mean, Robert, he's not the only guy that they're in talks with. So I'm just going to throw that out there. And no, I can't tell you who else they're in talks with. Let's see. I missed this one, did I? New Mexico Mike, 10-1. I'm staying positive. Go have a drink on me. Oh, I appreciate that, fam. And I plan to, because, well, the mini bar is full. Let's see. Let me see. I got Robert in there. Did I miss one? I'm famous for I'm famous for missing super chats, so I'm sorry if I do. Let's see. Jace Clark says, is it going to be OU Texas in the rematch? I mean, it could be. I think that's actually the way that we're going if Texas beats Iowa State. And last I looked, Texas was up like 24-3 in the fourth quarter. So we'll see on that front. 40 to Kansas. Yeah, well, that's sweating one out to Kansas at home. It's a terrible look, man. I mean, it's senior night. Low-key, there were a lot of celebrities in the stands. I'm sure a lot of y'all just didn't notice. One, because they're in the stands. And two, this game was trash. like you got, okay, let's just do the math. We gave up 500 yards of offense to Kansas. I want to say that again. We gave up 500 yards of offense to Kansas. Kansas is real bad at football. We gave up 348 yards rushing to Kansas. Kansas outrushed Oklahoma. And Oklahoma had 294 yards on the ground. Am I scared next week? No, I'm not scared next week, dog. What I'm scared of is the college football playoff. I am confident that Oklahoma can beat West Virginia because West Virginia just lost to Oklahoma State in the same sort of game that Oklahoma just won. Period. Okay? That's number one. Number two is if you got to play Texas again, fine. We know Texas. We've seen Texas. Texas know that we can drop 21 of them in 6 minutes. They don't want none of OU any more than we want them, right? We can win shootouts. What I am terrified about is that there are defenses with offenses that are not as good, but they're real good, that are being in the college football playoff. Clemson, Alabama, Notre Dame, or Michigan. All of those teams have outstanding defenses. And the weakest offense of those four is Michigan. Ian Book, quarterback in Notre Dame, has the highest completion percentage of any FBS quarterback playing today. We all know what Tua Tagovailoa can do, and we know that Trevor Lawrence is not just good. Travis Etienne is better. Travis Etienne at running back is a problem. And that's before you make Trevor Lawrence throw the ball, and he can. Because what he can do that Kelly Bryant couldn't do was throw the ball down the field. So it's not West Virginia that scares me. It's not the Big 12 title game. It's getting back to the playoff roasted. Because the way that this is looking for me, from my perspective, yeah, win a Big 12 title game. And then we'll drop one 40-24, right? Or we'll drop one 60-55, right? It'll be another basketball game where Oklahoma scores and can't get a stop. You know, and I understand former players are getting upset and current players are getting upset because they feel that fans are just, well, hey, man, it ain't just fans anymore. It's the entirety of the country. So you can't really pick a fight with Oklahoma fans, the folks who show up to watch you, who buy the stuff that says OU on it, pick a fight with us when you're bad. Because we don't get to make the plays. You have to make the plays. And a lot of us go back into work, or we go see our friends, or we go see family this Thanksgiving, and we got to answer for this defense. So yeah, it comes downhill. This is why people come to the channel to tell fakes, right? Because sometimes folks take the facts or the arguments that I make here, and they bring them to friends and family. And if I make a bad one, yo, man, they feel some kind of way about that. Why wouldn't former players and current players feel the same? And I think a lot of them do. But they use social media to vent, and my policy is just to not engage with them on that front because nobody wins there. You know, their feelings are hurt, your feelings are hurt, we're on the same team. Everybody should have an opportunity to be mad. Let me see, what did I miss? I missed something. Let me see. Jake, what you got, Jake? How are we going to be able to attract a high-quality DC if all position coaches' spots are filled and he can't bring in his guys? I mean, that's a Lincoln Riley question. That's why he gets paid $5 million a year. I know how I would want to do it. You know how you would want to do it. What is a defensive coordinator willing to do? Right? And if it's simply just taking in a defensive coordinator and you got guys that can recruit and you're putting in your scheme and those guys are on the same page with you, they are operating under the guys that, yo, we run his scheme, we do it the way that he wants to do it. I don't see a problem with that. Every single day. And players get dunked on for not buying into whatever they're telling. especially when they know that what the coach is selling is trash. So why not be able to ask position coaches who are making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year to coach a single position and to recruit to do the same? Buy into what the defensive coordinator is telling you to do. I don't see why that's a bad thing. You know, yes, if I was defensive coordinator, I want to bring in my own staff. Who wouldn't? But I don't think it's a big thing or a large stretch to say, I want to keep everybody on staff and I want to keep them their jobs. But you will answer to this defensive coordinator. And I don't think it's a big ask to say to the defensive coordinator, yo, I like this group of people, or I like this core group around me. I need you to make it work with these people. And him to say, yes, the coordinator's going to get paid to coach defense and to work within the framework that's set up for me. I don't see it. So why not ask that dude to do it? Come on now. You know? Let me see what else we got in here. Yo, man, we don't deal with the idiot word here, man. Come on now. Put that one away. Don't make it personal. You make it personal, I'm gonna put you in timeout. Literally. YouTube has a function where I can put you in timeout. All right? Bring your opinions, but you gotta say it the right way. Otherwise, it's gonna get hidden, you're gonna get put in timeout. Be cool about that, all right? Let me see what we got here. I'm not gonna LinkedIn be looking skeptical against the sorriest teams, man. I mean, tell it to Oklahoma State who took an L to Kansas State. Same team that beat Texas and West Virginia. Everybody looks suspect in this league, man. Everybody. Alabama looks suspect against Citadel today. What do you want me to tell you? It's college football, man. Come on now. All right? I told you that the Wi-Fi was going to be trash. I told you that. This hotel Wi-Fi. This isn't the Wi-Fi. That is hotel Wi-Fi, and I'm doing it because we do it. You know? What else we got? Injury situation at present. So I would encourage you to check OU 24/7 though, because I'm sure Brandon has some news for you there. If you're a member, if you aren't a member, yo man, that's all the recruiting. Folks know it way beforehand. You know. Yeah, I think Kennedy Brooks was down on that fumble too. Shocked that they didn't challenge it, but for those two turnovers, the pick and the ball on the ground, Oklahoma could have been up 48-3. I mean, it's that simple. Let's see what else we got in here. Let's see what we got in here. Me and Robert are here stepping up for you. I appreciate that, Steven. Let me see. RJ, the defense not deserved to wear the crimson and cream. Clint, what? Where does that come from? Come on, man. Where does that come from? Does not deserve to wear. Yo, man, the defense is on a team that's 10-1, and frankly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. It's how the offense feels about it. It's how Lincoln feels about it. You know, and anybody that goes out there to try to make a play, yeah, I'm not going to say they don't deserve to wear my colors. Those are my colors too, dog. Chill. Let me see. Easier to score. Just because it's easy to score doesn't mean that it would be better if you didn't play the game without a defense. I mean, look, who would you throw out there? Waterboy? Athletic trainers? Support staff? Nah, I'd much rather have 6'2", 240-pound linebacker named Kenneth Murray Jr. who has over 120 tackles this season playing on the defense. But that's just me. You know, the defense played without Neville Gallimore as well. I like watching Ronnie Perkins play at defensive end. I like Kenneth Mann. I like Amani Bledsoe. I like Curtis Bolton. The secondary is doing the best they can. They're just not as talented as we need them to be, right? And to be fair, the more I look at the scheme that they're running and the things that they're being asked to recognize, the more I understand how they're making mistakes. Now, tackling is something different because I don't expect to have to teach you how to tackle before you get to OU. But that said, if you can't tackle, it doesn't matter what scheme you're running. You got to be able to tackle, you know? So there's a lot going on and a lot that needs to be fixed, you know? So let me see what else we got here. We're literally playing with what? Okay. That's trash take. That's trash take. That's trash take. That if the committee is going to bash Oklahoma for this one, they got to bash Ohio State, they got to bash LSU, they got to bash Mississippi State, and they certainly got to bash Alabama, and they won't. Chill. Let me see. Yeah, it's a running joke. I've made it. It's a good joke. I like it. But if you want to run Oklahoma, Joe, you also don't want to run with your ones. Period. I don't understand how the secondary can't figure out how to jam receivers and use the sidelines. You know, did you watch Kansas secondary? They didn't jam. Now, I want folks to jam, but Kansas played pretty good defense without jamming anybody. They just knew their assignments. You know? Laramie, you can stop saying that. They ran a 4-2-5. They ran a lot of 4-2-5 today. They ran a lot of four-man fronts and two linebackers in the middle. It did not matter. You know? Didn't matter. It won't matter if the committee feels like da-da-da-da. Seriously, RJ, you got secondary and LBs. We need a DL coach. Let me see. Tour comes to an end with this one. I'm going to be here basically watching football and working. And then I'll get to go home. Yeah, can't wait to go home. This tough season happens when you're young and injured. Yeah, well, we've been young and injured for a long time. And that's what most of us are responding to. Is that this thing isn't new. Last week, I was sure that it was the secondary that's the issue. And now with this run defense, it's like, what is it that we really have to do? What is it now? You know, it just won't stay together. We don't have a Harris or McCoy on the DL, and that is a problem. Thought it was going to be Neville Gallimore, man. Like, big candidate was supposed to be that guy for like the last 2 years. Thought you had one of those guys at Devontae Lampkin. Actually, the last time we had a really great defensive lineman, I mean, not a hybrid, not like a striker or an oboe, had to be Jordan Phillips. Because Jordan Phillips at the nose was crucial. I mean, I miss Jordan Phillips in the worst way. He made that thing go. That's what I mean. You can run whatever scheme you want if you have players. But people who tell you from recruiting, people who tell you from scouting, people who tell you from watching college football defensive linemen are the hardest folks to go get because there's so few of them. Getting a guy like Michael Thompson is a big deal. It's another thing that I'm excited about. You get Michael Thompson next year. Red shirt coming back off an ACL injury. That's going to be tremendous. You get Derek Green coming in. Hopefully he adds something to the mix. Ryan Smith, what do you got? OU gets the best of each team. How much of the bad D is just the other teams coming up with better schemes and having a better plan than they do with other teams? Tackling is one thing by itself. I mean, it all matters because I've seen some outstanding schemes. I mean, Oklahoma schemed well against TCU. Oklahoma schemed well against Kansas State. Right? You got to have both. You got to have better schemes, and you got to have kids that can tackle. You know, the problem is you're running a scheme they don't fully understand, and you're not always confident that you can run what you need to run. So, like, assignments. Because what it is really under the way that Oklahoma coaches its defense, particularly secondary, is pattern recognition, right? Which is route recognition, which is what your assignments are dependent on what route you see after you read run first. So if you're an outside linebacker, you're reading run first, but you also have eyes on number 2 inside. So first, if you see run, you crash down. But that becomes a problem when you see things like RPOs, right? Because your first job is to read run. That's everybody's first job. And then you break to number 2. So if number 2 breaks inside, maybe that helps you. Probably doesn't because number 1 probably broke inside on you too. So you got to stay put. But you also got to be worried about him pulling this ball out and running with it. Or what if number 2 goes vertical? Well, then you get vertical. So you're an outside linebacker running downfield after slot receivers? Come on, man. You know, and if you're running cover 3, you get to take care of some of that. I could go on about this, and I won't because we're getting inside scheme now. And I know the only people that are really excited about that are me and Jake. But I got to do that at some point. RJ, Georgia led an FCS team score 27 on them. Georgia's got 1 loss. What do you want me to do? You know, Georgia's got a loss. Got to wait for Alabama to beat them. And hope that Ohio State can pull a rabbit out of his hat and beat Michigan because nothing. The offense can put up points. The offense can move the ball. But the defense, particularly the run defense of Ohio State is just truly garbage. And seeing as Michigan runs the ball really, really well, let's not. Let's not. Oh, Ray likes scheme. Appreciate that. So we'll do some scheme videos, but they're not. I mean, they're for a very particular sort of audience. And I made a bunch of, introductory videos to scheme and position that are on the channel. They got their own playlists if you're into it. No, Ray is not in jail. I haven't put anybody in jail just yet. I've just told people to shut up or I will put them in jail. And I mean that. Let me see what we got in here. What's Cody's question? I missed it. I miss everybody's question. Why is Ruffin still up in the press box and still not on the sidelines coaching? I think that's a personal preference, honestly. I think he would rather be in the box. And for some guys, that's how they see the field. For some guys, it's not. I'm a field guy, but I'm also, I would need my own coach gig back. Like I would need what Brent Venables has because I would be all over the field, all up and down, Well, Tommy, cool. We all got personal preferences. You know whose matters? Lincoln's. Let me see. Cooper, what you got? About halfway through the book, and it's great. Can't stand this D, though. Nice segue there, dog. Cooper's reading my book, but he's also saying he can't stand the defense. That's what's up. Let me see what we got here. Texas fans. Why are y'all worried about the play? Yo, man, didn't y'all use the Oklahoma State Texas Rocks? I read that somewhere. Y'all lost. And you got this thing on your resume that says lost to Maryland twice. You also got this thing on your resume that says you had to have a 4th down stop against Tulsa. Tulsa. You also got this thing on your resume that says that you lost to a West Virginia team that just lost to a 6-win Oklahoma State team. Get out of here. Or you want to get smacked some more. Come on, man. We can do this all day. Sit down. All right? Don't come in here talking noise. You know what time it is. You know what channel this is. Chill. Sit down. Let me see what we got in here. RJ, why are you only answer people that... no. If you donate to the channel, your question gets to the top of the line. And if the questions are all super chat questions, I'm going to get to them before I get to the others. Because that's what we do. Y'all are brand new. That's how it's been since jump. Come on now. If it was your money, that's how it would work. Don't bring me that. If you're a donor to the channel, that's a big deal. Let's see. Seems like our safeties don't help our corners much. That's scheme, dog. That's all scheme. Yeah. That's how you draw it up. In cover 2, you can help a lot. In cover 3, not so much. Right? That's scheme. Is Golding the best option at DC right now? Not particularly, but not. The best option at defense coordinator is the best option available, right? And available just means, can you get that guy to come away from a job he already has? And Golding doesn't call the shots at Alabama. That's why he's high on the list. But if you could go get Kirby Smart, you'd go get Kirby Smart. If you could go get Gary Patterson, you go get Gary Patterson. You see what I'm saying here? So, Golding's at the top of the list for a lot of folks because he doesn't get to call the shots away. But he is the co-defense coordinator. Just like Alex Grinch is the co-defense coordinator, though he doesn't call plays, right? He oversees the safeties. And that's another reason why Alex Grinch is also a good look is he knows from safeties and secondary play, right? Which is the glaring weakness on this defense. Robert Lane with the Texas sucks. That's what's up. That's where we're at with that. See, Texas, RJ, when OU stop missing out on 5-star defensive commits like Dax Hill? Yo, man, we got this 5-star defensive commit called Buki Radley Hiles, 2018 class. Maybe you heard of him. Come on now. Be cool. Be cool on that. Plus, let Dax go where he wants to go. Sometimes it's not about you not recruiting the kid. Sometimes it's about the kid just wanting to go to Michigan. Come on now. It's not as cut and dry as you want it to be. Let me see. Does OU have any good defensive recruits coming in? Well, I tend to think they're all pretty good. But Woody Washington, Jaden Davis at corner, both of those guys can absolutely play. Jamal Morris is totally underrated at safety, honestly. He's really, really good, and y'all going to get an opportunity to see that. On the defensive line, you got 3 ends. You got Joseph Wette, who's the best recruit out of D.C. You got Marcus Hicks, who's the best recruit out of Kansas. You got Corey Roberson, who's going to come in out of Manville, Texas. You got Derek Green, who's going to come out of North Carolina. You got Jonathan Perkins, who's going to play some linebacker, perhaps middle, perhaps outside. I mean, you still got a safety spot you can fill. I mean, they're pretty good. The problem that Oklahoma runs into is that, man, offense is just spectacular. I mean, we just put Heisman on the podium. We put him in the conversation. Whether they play a wide receiver, running back, quarterback, doesn't really matter, right? Got a Mackey Award winner in here. I mean, that's where we at right now. Brandon Nesbitt, what you got? Was it just me, or did the players seem not into the game, especially before when CD made big plays, he would jump all around? I don't see that. I think they all get up for these plays. I think they all get up for these games, honestly, especially the seniors. This is their night. Tell it to Carson Meyer, dog. You don't think he was up? What about Drew Samia and Ben Powers? Bobby Evans and Cody Ford, if this is their last night. You don't think they were up for this? Huh? Really? I think you'd be wrong. Let me see. Yeah, Tommy, I'm not going to even dignify that with an answer, dog. That's not true. What else we got in here? Dylan Dean, you think we can fix the D before the playoff if we get in? Anything's possible, but that's not likely. That's where it is. Anything is possible, but that's not likely. I wish I could tell you that you're going to fix the defense. It's going to be a bunch of world beaters before West Virginia next week. But the fact is, it's going to be another basketball game. It's going to be another game of the first team to score 50 wins, which I think is every game that Oklahoma is going to play from here on out. Got to score 50 to win. Right? That's just where we're at. Let's see. Stop with that, JoJo. RJ, I was impressed with K-State holding Tech to 6 today. Again, Kansas State jumped up and bit Oklahoma State. Kansas State held Texas to 19 and a loss. Look, how many teams have one loss on their record in the Big 12 today? How many? I'll wait. No. Answer the question. How many teams have just one loss in the Big 12 today? How many? Which teams? Yeah. That's what I thought. So, I mean, I hear you talking noise about the defense. I also see you going 10-1. Come on, man. We're at the top. So, yes, we're hemming and hawing about the defense, and we're sick of it. But at the end of the day, 10 wins. Second week of November. Chill. Come on now. West Virginia got thumped by Iowa State and Oklahoma State. Texas. Are we really going to talk about who Texas lost to? You don't get to come back from a Maryland loss, man. Especially back-to-back. Come on now. Let me see. Nobody with 2 losses is going to get in. Not until the playoff gets expanded to 8 teams. Let's see. Being in the same conversation as Rutgers as the 2 teams Kansas has scored most on is unsettling, to say the least. Okay. Who else did Texas score 45 on? All right. You going to answer that question? Right? Who else did Texas Tech score? What was it? What was it they scored? 44? 45? Nah, answer that question. right? Who else was it that Iowa State scored 27 on? I don't care is my point. I care about what is this? Let me see if I can do it. I care about this. You know what that is? It's Wu-Tang Clan, right? Huh? It's Woo-Sop. Nah, it's W's, man. 10 of them. Us. This. Can't nobody else in the Big 12 say that. Keep it 100. You know, that's all I'm saying. Yes, be mad about the defense. All right, so Mark Paul, you going in the timeout, dog. Thanks for playing. Can't drop profanity on the channel. Can't do it. Man, he in timeout for the rest of the stream. Let's see. This man is yelling at hotels. He finna get kicked out. Man, they didn't come knocked on my door about 4 times during the game because I'm yelling at the TV. You should go check out the on-demand video. Let me see. RJ, will Kyler joke and like throw 2 picks and 2 drives, or will he come out like a savage? Answer that is yeah. I mean, he gonna do what he gonna do, but we're gonna go as he goes. So I don't know why you even joke about that. You know, I don't know why. Why didn't Caleb play more? You want him to play more over Curtis Bolton? You go ahead, tell him, Lionel. You go ahead. Let me see. Just don't jail this. Let's see. Oh, you got 3 straight Big 12 titles. How many Texas got this decade? It's a very good take. Greg Wesley keeping her 100. You know? Let me see. All right, last question, then we're going to get out of here. RJ, why can't OU get dominant defensive tackles? Why can't Texas? Why can't West Virginia? Why can't Texas Tech? Why can't Kansas? Why can't Kansas State? Why can't Baylor? I mean, come on now. I just said why we can't, dog. It's one, you got to recruit them, and the only way you can recruit them is by showing them you put them in the league, or I mean, you do the salesman job that you're supposed to do as a defensive coach or as a recruiter. Other one is that there are few. There aren't that many walking around. It's like saying, why don't you have more 7-footers playing at your basketball program? Because there aren't any. Look, the statistic is 1 in every 12 7-feet people that are 7 feet tall play in the NBA right now. Same thing with defensive tackles. Find me a dominant defensive tackle. I'll find you a unicorn. They're out there, but they ain't anybody I've seen just walking around in the wild. All right? Let me see. Let's see. Yo, man, yeah. Everybody gets to see you put in timeout. Trash. All right. So we're going to do the roll call. We're going to get out of here. So if you're in the chat, say what's up. Going to get out of here. All right. Michael Harris, I see you. And Tom Jackson is out. Jay Jones is out. BTU is out. Carvin Jackson is out. Lloyd Grissom's out. OKC Boys out. Jace Clark. Deuces. Heavy's out. Cameron's out. Raw's out. Easton Bull. Cooper Patrick. Matthew Ainsworth. Jake from Sooner State. Stephen Gorteri. Let me see. 405 boy. RJ Middle Age. Okay. All right. Babe! Happy birthday, Laurel. Low power mode. Don't want that. Lamar Garrett's out. Brandon Rader's out. Greg Wesley. Bill Beach. Justin Harris. Hero. Paul. Robert Lane. Lamar Garrett. Greg Tate. C.D. Tollison. William Zabala. Boomer Winters. Lad was good. Justin Harris is out. Silent Assassin. Jay Word. Brandon Rader. Ryan Smith. See, Jamal Smith. Eric Johnston. Donnie Overbay, Brandon Nesbitt, Micah, Cam Ridley, Sheldon Lane, Kyle Roach, Eric Peck, Jacob Franklin, Brandon Mashburn. I see you, brother. Doing the most with the least. Okay. Brandon Dodd, Trev Land, Darren Morgan, Laramie Raymond, Colts fan, Greg Gonzalez, Rachel, Silent Assassin, Jacob Farmer, Dylan Dean, William Everman, Frank Faust, Justin Harris, Stephen Gordon's out. Hey, you got 2 weeks to cancer free. That's what's up, man. Andrew Conway, Brianna Kaufman. Let me see. Cajun Sooner. All right, we'll just go with that. Laramie's out, Nick's out, Den's out. Me, M. Keegs. Oh, man, M. Keegs. That's what's up. else we got? Percy Landrum. I'll see you. Greg Tate's out. Jacob Franklin's out. Shane Brasher's out. Let me see. Going once. Going twice. Alright, that's it for me. If you like the videos, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. I will see you tomorrow. Deuces.